I remember, I don't know if it was a year ago, we met at GDC and you were holed up in this little small white booth, and now Wargaming has gone big, one of the bigger booths here at GDC. Could you tell us a little bit about what the last year has been like for Wargaming?
Well, a year ago we were approximately 150 people. Today we are close to 800 people. So for the last 12 months we grew really, really fast. World of Tanks, this is our flagship free-to-play MMO, now has around 20 million people around the world, in Russia, in Western Europe, in America and in China. So that's quite a big amount of people. It brings good money, and of course we, as you can see, are putting this money to very good use. We are reinvesting heavily into World of Warplanes, also World of Battleships, and, which is very important, we are opening our service offices, operational or publishing offices around the world. Now we have office in Paris, holding like European grounds with 35 people, Berlin office, helping the Parisian office to do PR and marketing in Germany. We have office in San Francisco Bay Area, 35 something people helping kind of us to operate in America. It's community management, customer support, PR, marketing, business development. You need a lot of people to do, especially customer support and community manager, and you cannot do this out of Eastern Europe or, I don't know, India. So you have to have local presence with highly professional employees, and this is what we are doing.
So you touched on World of Warplanes. That's your big focus now, to get that out. What are you showing here at GDC, and what are you talking about?
Well, we still did not lose focus on tanks. Moreover, the tanks development team, World of Tanks development team, is growing literally every day. What we did, we put together another team, even in another city, to make World of Warplanes. So World of Tanks is getting more attention from us, but World of Warplanes, it's also getting a lot of attention, but they are in parallel, and Battleships are the third studio, so we have 3 studios now. So all of them have a lot of attention. But yeah, you're right, this one has not yet been released, so it's really crucial, important to put this promotional effort and PR and prepare the markets and the audience, the players for that game to come. Now we are in closed technical alpha, which is global. For World of Tanks we did little mistake, I'm sorry. All of the testing, important testing, happened in Russia. And Western players did not have much of a chance kind of to participate really in tanks production. We don't do this mistake again. So for World of Warplanes, the alpha, though it's closed, already is simultaneous in Russia, in Europe and in America. And that will give good opportunity to Americans, to British guys, to German guys to play the game, participate in this alpha test, and give us early feedback, and eventually affect and kind of help us to improve the development. So they will be affecting the development, and that's good, because community for this kind of game, this is very important. Community has to be a part of the development and even promotion.
So obviously flying planes is very different from manning tanks, but what kind of similarities are there, and sort of, do you think that a lot of players will cross over to both games?
Well, you have to do something new. We did not just want to copycat ourselves with tanks, right? Good news for us is that in the Western markets, for example, especially America or Britain, warplanes is much bigger topic than tanks. Let's admit that. So America was fighting World War II in many respects with warplanes. Even in Saving Private Ryan, remember this huge Tiger tank at the end? It was destroyed by an airplane dropping a bomb. Pacific War, it's all about warplanes. So American culture, and British culture is more of a warplane. So we think that's a good piece of news for us. It's a lot of players who played dozens of flight simulation games before, and there are so many of them, mostly hardcore, of course. So those players are now playing our alpha, and they are liking what they see. Yes, 3D maneuvering is kind of a little more difficult than a tank. With a tank you can stand, hide behind the building or behind a bush, and kind of you'll be okay for some time. One airplane, it cannot stop, so you need to keep flying. But it's more romantic, it's more fast, it's more dynamic. I mean, you can do a lot of tricks, very fast tricks. You can do a lot of team play with warplanes. It is just different. Some people like more tanks, some people like warplanes. But on top of that, I think that Wargaming.net, our company, managed to create tank culture. There were not so many tank simulation players before World of Tanks. Those few who were in existence, they joined World of Tanks, but how do you get to 20 millions from that? It's just the game has so high production values. It's nice, it's smooth, it has good sound, good graphics, good physics. It has very nice free-to-play online monetization strategy, so that any guy from 13-year-old to 35 or 40-year-old can just download and play this game for free and enjoy it. We think we will grab and attract to our game, of course, the players from other flight sims, but also I can see millions of normal guys who come back from work, kind of a little bit tired, they want to have some fun, jumping into World of Planes, because you can have one battle 5 minutes, it's over, you jump into another battle, so you can have 3, 5, 6, 10 battles over your evening without any strings attached. This is what's beautiful about our whole free-to-play kind of online concept. So not only it's a simulation, historically accurate when it comes to warplanes, it's also like a Counter-Strike, but those warplanes. However, now we say, that's what we were saying a year or 2 years ago, now we say it's like World of Tanks, but with warplanes. It's a nice gaming concept.
So what kind of roles are there in World of Warplanes for player to explore, and what's the strategic layer of the game?
Mm-hmm. Historically, there were a couple of warplanes. We deliberately decided not to make players fly bombers because this is too slow and too boring. So we have fighters, we have heavy fighters, and we have ground attack aircraft. Of course, each of them can be like, small, medium, and a little bigger. They're also jets, and historically they span from the 30s till Korean War. Of course, it also includes World War II with those iconic machines like Spitfire, P-57. For Germany, it's a little bit difficult because Germany discontinued production of warplanes after 1945. So we have to use their secret super Luftwaffe weapons from the books and movies. But our players in World of Tanks like those prototype non-existent tanks. For World of Warplanes, it will work out very well too. The game has perfect rock, paper, scissors. Like heavy fighters, they are really heavy armor. So for light fighter, it's more difficult to hit that one, and the same for attack ground attack. Like IL-2 Sturmovik, it is a flying tank. So for light fighter, it's really hard to shoot it down, especially considering the fact that it has the rear machine gun. So you have to be from behind, and you are being fired upon. So that's where heavy fighters come in. They can sustain the rear machine gun fire, and they can effectively shut down the ground attack. And fighters can bring down heavy fighters, and well, some of them have additional machine guns, some of them have rockets for attacking the ground, and cannons, and even small bombs, because we also have the ground kind of gameplay. You have tanks moving, you have anti-aircraft guns shooting at you all the time. Not only you have to shoot down the enemies, but also you have to destroy certain ground objectives. and terrain. Also, a little bit unhistorically, we are bringing the fights closer to the ground. We'll have canyons, hills, mountains, even skyscrapers in a New York-style city, so that you literally can outflank the enemy flying along the canyon and being invisible. You have clouds, you go into clouds and you become invisible. If you attack from the sun direction, the enemy does not see you until you open fire. So there's a lot of tactical and strategic variety to that game, and we are putting a lot of efforts to make it even wider, sometimes sacrificing a little bit of realism or historical accuracy, but getting more on the fun part. So far, alpha testers, for the last week it's alpha test, they're happy. We have very good feedback.
So you're in alpha right now. When do you think that everyone will get their hands on World of Warplanes?
Right now we are acting a little bit like Blizzard. You understand that 2 years ago with World of Tanks, nobody kind of knew us and everybody let us in. So we did not have any attitude. Now we can feel that cameras and microphones are all pointed at us, so media is watching us, players and the industry is playing World of Tanks and watching at us. So from our next project, World of Warplanes, everyone expects 100% world-class, top-notch quality. And we cannot disappoint our players, so we have to do it right. So we don't have any specific days, we don't have like any investors or Christmas, sales pressing. We will release the next stage when it is ready. The development is going pretty fast because, of course, we're using a lot of back-end technology from World of Tanks. So, and we have a lot of experience with World of Tanks, game design-wise, monetization-wise, and integration-wise. So, realistically, in the beginning of the summer, most probably we will open some kind of more public beta, so that hundreds of thousands of people can join. Now we have only a couple of thousands we let in after the field questionnaire about warplanes and the history of airfight. But day one we had 100,000 applications for the closed alpha, which is very good for us. I mean, we really, we were really happy to have this number, and we gradually let them in now, like 100 by 100 every day. Beginning of summer, something like more public, and we are shooting for the release before the end of this year. However, we make first priority is to make sure this is very quality game.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.